Hello, hello, my beautiful beloveds, and welcome to our channel. This is video 1, and I'm so excited to be sharing with you and connecting with you. This has been rumbling around in my mind for a little while now, so I'm thrilled to be able to birthing it out into the world, and so grateful that you're here. We're gonna start by setting intention for our channel and just getting clear and focused with our energy, because that's how I like to start everything. Programs I offer, sacred sensual ritual, starting my day, everything starts with an intention, so then I can just really get in alignment and get clear with how I want to use my energy. And the more clear and focused we can get with our energy, the more clear and focused our life becomes. And this is how we create our reality and really open to the things that we want to permeate our existence. So when we don't set an intention and we're not clear, it's all just anything happens, anything goes, and we're left kind of wondering, like, what happened there? How am I just like flying around willy-nilly, and I don't have the focus, and the things I'm wanting to call in aren't arriving, or the relationships aren't going the way I'd like them to, because we're not getting clear and focused with our energy. So this is just one way. And that doesn't mean we're not spontaneous and open and in the flow of life. Of course we are. But, like when I wake up in the morning, I set the intention for how I want to spend the day and how I want to utilize my energy. And that could be as simple as I set the intention to align with love throughout the day. It just kind of gives it a framework, and then everything else that happens within that is just kind of geared towards that. So that's kind of what I mean by setting intention. It's not about getting super specific, because then we can shut down a lot of the options that are available to us and that the universe has for us. So but the intention, I was going to set the space a little bit. So we have some beautiful Palo Santo here, which is just such a gorgeous wood element, and it's a beautiful scent and so calming and soothing, and just a beautiful way to set this space, and again to set intention for just calm, beautiful. Ooh, that's lovely. Nice. Thank you, beautiful Palo Santo. Beautiful energies and frequencies, and it smells amazing. Very sensual energy. So yum. Something you can look into if that speaks to you. It's beautiful for just kind of clearing the space and bringing kind of a nice, for me it's a lovely sensual element, because it just smells so amazing, and it helps to calm the senses, and it's just like, so nice, so beautiful. So lovely way to start things and to create your space. So now we've done that, and the intention I would like to set, I wrote a little about description for the page. You're welcome to go check that out, but really I want to set the intention for this space to discuss sacred sexuality, reconnecting with our bodies and really celebrating our bodies, and kind of dismantling. It's going to be twofold. It's a lot of celebration and coming into our power, but in that we're going to be dismantling unhealthy belief systems and conditioning and limitations that we've taken on in the systems that we've grown up in the societies that we've grown up in our families, and just maybe old religious belief systems that permeate our society, that have kind of been about sin and shaming of the body and a degradation of the body. And I'm going to move that up just a little bit. And our sexuality, not celebrating our sexual union, our sexual energy, our beautiful bodies. So we're gonna kind of explore that and help to dismantle some of those belief systems that might be getting in the way from us, like really loving ourselves, loving our bodies, loving connecting with another, any guilt and shame that comes up, and that can be very unconscious even, So those types of patterns around sexuality, unhealthy expectations that we bring into sexual connection, and old patterns, just again, things we've picked up maybe from Hollywood, watching TV or watching porn, or just ways that we've seen our sexual energy and our bodies utilized and promoted in a way that isn't necessarily super conducive to a healthy sexual connection with ourselves and with another. So, what kind of beliefs have we taken on from watching mainstream media that are just really not supporting us? So, also, we're going to be looking at the sacred feminine and sacred masculine energies within us and how we strengthen those and how we really start to let go of the unhealthy, wounded feminine, wounded masculine energies and patterns that we've come in with, and again, inherited from maybe our family or societies or other school systems, groups and clubs that we've been into, works, careers, anything that may have contributed to some unhealthy, toxic patterns that just aren't supporting us, again, in our highest good and in healthy relationships with ourselves and with others. And let's see, we're going to discuss authentic Tantra and what that is versus kind of like the Neo-Tantra and the misconceptions around what Tantra is, because it's a very beautiful, powerful, life-changing tradition and philosophy and practice, many practices that go along with Tantra that have nothing to do with sexuality. And a lot of people just think that that's what it is, because that's what's kind of been predicated, is that the word I'm looking for, in our Western society. So we're going to be dismantling a little bit of that too, and maybe exploring some tantric philosophy because it's really about that feminine and masculine energies and the polarities and the and bringing them together, finding balance and harmony and union within in order to have that healthy union without. So that's a really important piece and what I just love to talk about and share about. So we're going to be exploring that. Let's see what else. We're going to be getting into our bodies and moving a bit, because we've really gotten so up in our mind. Part of the society we've grown up in is it's very mental. It's very logical. It's just up here. Let's figure everything out. Let's just be in here and disconnected from the body. And we don't hear ourselves anymore. And we are disconnected from our intuition. In large part, of course, a lot of what I'm saying here is some generalizations, so don't take it as like, the gospel or anything, but just kind of some general, and as a general rule, we've gotten pretty disconnected from our bodies, from our intuitions, from listening to ourselves, and we trust the outside, we trust some expert out there, we trust the doctor to tell us what's going on with our body because we're not able to listen to it anymore. And those are, so coming back into our bodies, we're going to be doing some movement and breathing, who knows? This is really going to be quite an exploration. I feel like there's so many things I'm passionate about, and my energy shifts and changes and moves all the time. And I've learned to just like be cool with that, because that's another thing that we're taught in our society is like, be the expert, dig down into it, and just, get myopic about that one thing. And I used to shame myself for not following through, I guess. My energy just wants to move in different directions, and it gets curious about so many different things. And I love variety, and I love exploration, and I love curiosity, and I love just following. One thing leads to the next thing, leads to the next thing, leads to the next thing. And it's, again, like I said, that used to be a cause for concern for me. But now I'm just like, that's how my energy is. And part of this whole exploration is going to be learning to work with our energy and learning ourselves. And that is moving beyond the conditioning and the limitations we've been taught, because that's a perfect example of what is celebrated in our society and what is, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my gosh. Well, we'll just skip it. But anyways, it's celebrated, to be that expert, to put 20, 30, 40 years into that one thing. And, maybe that's not how your energy works, and you've been trying to force yourself into that box to that celebration, to get the accolades, to get, to the next level. That's the next level. There's another thing that we're taught is desirable, to always be advancing in a certain way, like maybe in our career, getting to that top rung. And maybe that's not the thing for us. Maybe we want to move all over the place. Who knows? But this is they're the conditioning and limitations that I want to, talk about and help us to rethink for ourselves and to get to know our own energies better and explore those and start questioning. And I'm sure that I say start questioning, it's not like you probably haven't been doing this already, but this is just part of what we're going to be doing here is, the critical thinking and the looking at those belief systems. Where do they come from? Does that really work for you? And a lot around relationships and sexuality. There's so many strange patterns and concepts and belief systems that we've picked up around relationships and around sexuality and sensuality and around our bodies, and we're so used to them that we haven't picked them apart. We haven't looked at them. We haven't decided, like, is this actually true for me? Is monogamy the perfect thing for me? Does that work for me? What does monogamy even mean to me? And we're just kind of given this model as what is that thing and what is the most desirable thing. And maybe it's not for you, but we were never given the opportunity to really question that and get into that and understand what that is. And again, everything is always shifting. So whatever monogamy looked like 20, 30, 40 years ago, it's very different now. Our world is very different. Everything's different. So a lot of these things are up for reconsideration right now. And it's important that we take this opportunity to start really looking at what's working for us and what isn't, and how can we shift and move and change and adapt and start playing with some things that are a lot more conducive to how we want to be in the world, and breaking free from these boxes. Breaking free. My whole life has been about earlier it was fighting the system. Now I'm not fighting it anymore, but I'm just really creating my own system. What is my own thing? What works for me, and how do I want to live my life, based on my energies, based on my frequencies, based on my passions, based on, what I love, I love freedom. I love liberation. I love being on my spiritual path. I love exploring. I love my curiosity, and I cherish and honor those things now and allow them to do what they need to do, and that has me going off in all sorts of interesting directions. I live in a converted shuttle bus traveling the country. Right now I'm at my aunt and uncle's house. They let me stay here for a little bit during the winter while they're in Palm Springs, which is so lovely. So there's a beautiful home here for me to hang out. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to take advantage of that. I get to shower every day and just have a big space to spread out in. But I'll be heading back on the road here probably within a week. And so I'm pretty excited about that. So don't get used to this background, because soon I'll be in my shuttle bus and out in nature more, that's another thing that's really important to me, is getting out into nature and really connecting, which is part of why I wanted to move out of the city and go explore and go live in a converted shuttle bus, so I could be closer to nature and explore that. So let's see, I feel like I'm forgetting a couple of things, but that's kind of the gist of it. Relationships, sensuality, sexuality, exploring our bodies, exploring what it means to be in our healthy masculine, healthy feminine energies in this day and age, as everything is shifting so much. It's just rapid fire. And spirituality, coming back into our spiritual connecting with ourselves as spiritual beings, as sexual beings, and how do we blend those two? How do we bring all of that together? Because I don't believe there's any separation there. I mean, there has been, but ultimately there is not. We are spiritual beings. We are sexual beings. How do we honor that? How do we celebrate that? How do we bring that out into the world in a healthy way that's really celebratory, How do we celebrate our sexuality and bring our beautiful, creative, life force, sexual energy into the world in a really healthy way? Yeah, let's just say that. So, yeah. I haven't done a video for a while, so I feel like I'm a little, I can get a little nervous sometimes coming on these things, so that's okay. And I love to talk, so if you're new to me, I had a different channel before, but again, like I said, everything's always shifting and moving for me, so this is where I'm at right now, and so you're probably all new to me, I guess. Anyway, I wanted to pull some cards. Part of what I'm going to be doing here, I believe weekly, is doing a card spread, tarot cards, to help us just kind of get a feel for the energies of the moment and support us in our process, and see what wisdom comes through. If you're familiar with oracle cards and tarot cards, you know the power of them and how much wisdom can come through. If you're not familiar, buckle up. It's an exciting ride. These are amazing wisdom tools to really support us in our process and help us to kind of open up to different aspects and levels of our being and our spiritual growth, and help us to tap into deeper unconscious parts of ourselves, to archetypal energies of ourselves, and open up some questions for us, get us thinking on a different level. And the wisdom really comes through. I believe we're channeling our higher selves, and we have all of our guides around us, and this is a tool for them to speak with us very directly, ourselves. Again, when I say guides, I really think of it as our higher selves. So if you work with angels, with your higher self, with your spirit guides, with animal spirits, maybe ancestors, people that you talk to, or a higher power, whoever you might pray to or connect with, or sometimes prayer is a loaded word. When I mean by prayer is just talking to our guides, talking to, and maybe you have a connection with Buddha or Christ. For me, Christ consciousness is a big thing, and that's not Jesus Christ per se, but just that consciousness. I'm very tapped into that and connected to it after having a really powerful experience that opened things up for me too. And I'm really into the gods and goddesses of the Hindu pantheon, so I'm really resonating with those energies and frequencies as well. A number of them, not all of them, of course, there's like millions, but but those are all just aspects of ourselves in the external form, really helping us to relate to different parts of ourselves in a way that helps us to strengthen those energies within ourselves and those frequencies. So I'll be talking a lot about energy and frequency as well, because I love doing, I relate to everything in our experience as energy, because that's what it is. So it's all different frequencies. Everything has a frequency. This couch has a frequency. Our bodies have frequencies. The light around us has frequencies. Our emotions are frequencies. Our food has frequencies. Everything is a different frequency that we interact with that changes our frequency. The more we can get aligned with working with frequencies that support us, the more supported we are. A lot of us will engage with frequencies that maybe don't support us so well, like watching the news at night, which is a very fear-based frequency that really floods our system with fear. And then we're in fear and we're having anxiety and we're having stress. But we absolutely get to decide what frequencies we want to surround ourselves with. We truly do. And the more we get tapped into that and understand that, the more we get to create our reality and change what isn't working for us and what isn't supporting for us. This all comes with a lot of consciousness and awareness. The more conscious we become of working with our experiences frequency, the more in our power we get to be about deciding which frequencies to engage with. So the tarot cards and oracle cards are also their own frequency. Excuse my throat. I'm getting over some illness. I got sick when I traveled, so but it's still a little scratchy throat. Okay, so I think we're gonna start with, these are the Shaman's Dream Oracle. It's a gorgeous deck. The images are really beautiful, and it's just kind of some real, the descriptions aren't super intense and big. It's some simple, sweet, going right to the heart of the matter cards that are just really lovely. So I'm gonna pull a couple of these and see what happens. So I think I'm gonna scoot back a little bit. I don't have a table right here, so okay, there we go. All right. Okay. All right, so we'll pull 2 to 3 of these cards. We'll see what happens. And just to get a feel, also again, to just like kind of set the intention for our exploration here upcoming, and see where we're going to go, and maybe what the guides have to say and what wants to come through. So yeah, something about our sacred sexual journey, that really is going to be a real big theme around this, and we're going to explore more what I mean by sacred sexuality in the next video or two. But for now, if you don't know what that is, what does it say to you? When I say those words, what comes through for you? What does it mean when I say sacred sexuality? What gets evoked for you? And that's something for you to just contemplate for yourself and explore until we get to our next video and we start diving into it a little bit more. So, and I also have a blog post that I'll post down in the comments below that will explain more too about what I'm talking about. So we'll see what comes through. Whew, thank you, beautiful guides, Mother Earth, Father Sun. Thank you all for supporting us so beautifully and opening to any wisdom to come through today, helping us to set intention for this beautiful channel and this beautiful exploration around sacred sexuality and healthy relationships. Thank you in advance for any of your support to support our highest good and alignment with love. Woo. It's taken a few. They're getting just the right thing. There's one. Whoa, they all went down. We don't need that many, but thank you, everybody. And maybe I'm just going to keep this one card because it seems really quite beautiful. It's how we started this whole thing. Beloved, radical acceptance. We're just going to look at this card for a second. What does this say to us? And it's fire. There's a lot of fire. The element of fire is all about transformation and spiritual growth and transforming one thing into another. Think about it, when something is burning up, it's going from one form into another and completely changing its frequency and its energy, right? So, beloved, and that's what we're doing here in this channel. We're going to be transmuting some of those old belief systems, old ways of being, into ways that are healthier and support us. And beloved, I think of everybody as the beloved. We're all an expression of the divine. We are the divine. It's all this unity. This is part of the Christ consciousness. We're all one. We're all this, and we're all made of love. So when I say beloved, that's what I mean. Like, we are each the beloved. We are each the beloved of the divine, which is us. So, and radical acceptance, I think that's really beautiful. Radical acceptance of where we are. Radical acceptance of who we are and how we showed up, who we're here to be. Radical acceptance of the shadow and light, all the parts of ourselves, and bringing them all to the front. This is, for me, it's been a huge coming into myself and being confident and learning who I am and having the courage and confidence to be who I am in all of my strangeness and ways that maybe didn't feel celebrated and supported when I was younger or growing up, or just in society in general. I have chosen to live my life in a very different way, and it's taken a lot of courage to come out of that, not follow the working a 9-to-5 job, not doing a lot of the normal expected things. I've always been the black sheep. I've always been the one, the one on the outskirts. And it's been a real path of, radical acceptance and coming into my own. And I'm constantly kind of stepping more into the truth of who I am and who I came here to be as I continue to dismantle the belief systems I've taken on as I've grown up. So that will be a real big theme for us. Radical acceptance and radical confidence and courage to be ourselves and to be who we are, especially in relationship, because we conform and shut down and compromise so much in order to get love, that love that we're seeking and longing for so desperately. And until we love ourselves and love all of ourselves, all of our uniqueness and strangeness and quirkiness and the dark parts and the light parts, all of it, until we love ourselves, we're not going to connect with somebody else in a way that we feel really loved and that we know we're worthy of love. We just keep perpetuating those patterns that support our not loving ourselves fully and not accepting ourselves. So radical acceptance, that is gorgeous. And the number is 2. Of course it's a 2 because it's about the beloved, love, an exchange of love. I'm going to read what it says here because luckily these descriptions are pretty short, so it's easy to read. Okay, the object of affection, radical acceptance, loving what is. When the beloved appears, it requires 100% of your heart, body, and soul. Don't try to squeeze the beloved into your schedule. Drop the busyness and receive the one you have been waiting for. That's you. Know that this card comes as a mirror to show you the divine within, yes, and invite your radical acceptance of everything you consider beautiful or ugly in your being. This is exactly what we were just saying here, right? The beloved may not be a person at all. It might be a business venture, a project, or an adventure calling for your full attention. What is your beloved right now? That's beautiful. Love it. Let it light you up and give it your all. Surrender to this truth and know that you are gaining a passport to bliss, even when it feels that you are being consumed by the fire of the beloved. Do not hold back or be afraid, for you will emerge transformed. Surrender is the key. Allow yourself to be loved. This is my beloved right now. You are my beloved. I am just like diving in and really committing to this and giving it my all. And it is surrendering to this beautiful creative energy and to just putting it out there, putting myself out there, which can be, like I said, a little like, we get so scared of judgment and criticism and like, ooh, are people going to like what I'm doing or what I'm saying or how I look, or, we can get lost in that. So I'm just having to surrender and do this because I really love connecting in this way and sharing and talking about this kind of stuff. So here we are, radical acceptance, right? Usher the harsh critic out the door. Yes, we're our own worst critic. Oh my gosh, yeah. And shut your eyes and ears to the judgment of others, of ourselves, who have not been ignited by the divine blaze consuming you, for they will only attempt to douse your fire and leave you choking on the smoke. Be careful, you are not seduced by false promises or falling prey to your extraordinary ability to sabotage your dreams and desires. Don't we do this? Don't we sabotage what we truly want? We make excuses for ourselves. We find ways that we're not worthy. That's those belief systems we're talking about. We absolutely sabotage ourselves. Oh, I can't afford that. Oh, that's not really meant for me. Oh, I don't have the time for that. Oh, that's too much for me. Oh, I'm not good enough for that. I don't have the skills for that. I'm too old for that. The list goes on and on and on, all the ways that we sabotage ourselves from our dreams and desires. Sync with and sink into your heart and trust your sense of what is true. We've got the leaf blower going out there. I apologize for that, but that's just part of it, right? Surrender to what is, radical acceptance. And you will know what to do. The true beloved is never false. Every gift proffered is valuable. Recognize the many faces of the beloved and welcome them into your heart. You will be so glad you did. What a gorgeous card for our to set our intention. I mean, it's just beautiful. I'll return to this and I'm gonna put that up there again just for you to see it. Look at that fire, and it's kind of in a heart shape there. Wow, amazing, amazing, amazing. I love that. Okay, so we have the leaf blower going on outside. I was gonna do some tarot cards, but I think I'll do that for the next video. as I'm going. Can you see how excited I get about things and how my energy is just like, woo? So we're going to talk about sacred sexuality and what I mean by that coming up. We're going to do a tarot reading in our next video because I really want to do that on a weekly basis because you'll see as we get going, it's just beautiful. It's lovely, thought-provoking, and supporting for working with the energies of the moment. So we will, I think, close out for now. I can get really going and talk for days. So I will curtail that, and I think that's a great beginning. And yeah, again, so thrilled that you're here, and I really look forward to our exploration and where this goes. And yeah, thank you. I'm gonna put a link below. Please follow me on Instagram, and from Instagram you can find all of my links, all of my information, and website, how to find me if you want to learn more about me and what I'm doing. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. Okay, let's see. Bye all.